It's Tuesday, it's a brand new week, and once again it's race week. But yeah, I literally just raced this past weekend, and I'm racing again this week. This week is gonna be another 5K, and main goal for this race is to run faster than I did last week. You know, last week's race, the course was slightly long at 3.2 miles, but Strava said my fastest 5K was like a 1951, so I'm gonna just go with I would have ran like a 1951 if it was a 5K. If the course was a 5K. So yeah, my main goal for this race is to just run faster than I did last week. But as far as how I'm gonna achieve that and my goals and all that, I'm gonna talk more about that as the week progresses. But yeah, for this whole week though, I'm probably gonna put on a little more mileage than I did last week. Last week was a really light week, and I really needed that light week too, because my body was I was just starting to feel tired and all that, and it was definitely time for a break. But I'm gonna pick up the mileage just a little bit more this week. Like for today's run, today's run is gonna be like a tempo pickup run. So I'm gonna run like a 3-mile warm-up, and then right after 3 miles, I'm gonna jump right into the tempo. Tempo is gonna be like 3 or 4 miles. It really just depends on how I feel on the run. But yeah, 3-4 mile tempo at about 650, 655. That's how fast I want to go for the tempo. So yeah, then a cool down. So about 7 to 8 miles today, depending on how long the tempo is. So yeah, I don't plan on Wednesday and Thursday will probably be pretty light. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this race though. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, like I said, my main goal is to just run faster than I did last week though. But I want to run a different type of race though. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna talk more about that as the week progresses though. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this run though. Yeah, nice and controlled, progressive tempo effort today. Felt pretty good. Felt pretty good throughout the tempo. Felt completely in control, which is always a great sign. I'm probably gonna feel this shit tomorrow. I'm probably gonna be a little bit sore, but I mean, good thing is Wednesday and Thursday are gonna be pretty easy days. Like I'm probably gonna run like 5 and 4 miles the next 2 days or something like that. But yeah, we'll see though. But yeah, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. So it's now Thursday, and I guess I'm gonna talk about my race plan now. So the biggest goal for this race is just to stay as disciplined as possible, which that is much easier said than done in short races like 5Ks, because like it's so easy to just go out super fast because of adrenaline and all that. Adrenaline, and plus other people going out super fast. So it's like it's super easy to get caught up and running a super fast mile and just dying like for the last like 2 kilometers of the race. So yeah, my goal for this race is just to stay as disciplined as possible. My goal for this race is like a 1945 or faster. But yeah, I wanna open up my first mile in like no faster than like 6:19. Like 6:19 to 6:24 is when I want to open up my first mile. And I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best to stay as disciplined as possible and just stick to the plan. I don't want to go out no faster than that. Like I said, it's so much easier said than done. Like, it's like when you step to that line, all that excitement is all part of that first mile, and it's tough. But I'm gonna try my best to stay disciplined. I mean, because this course, the first mile is kind of downhill, so it's a little easier to run a super fast first mile. But like I said, I'm gonna try my very, very, very best to just stay as disciplined as possible and not run my first mile no faster than 6:19. And for the second mile of the course kind of flattens out. This second mile is flat, so I want to try to hit my second mile in like between 6:17 and like 6:10 or so. And then for the last mile of this race on this course is kind of tough. Like the last mile is kind of just a long gradual uphill. Like the hill is nothing steep or nothing, but like it's still a hill nonetheless, so it's like you're naturally gonna probably slow down on a mile like that, last mile of a 5K, especially if it's kind of uphill. So yeah, the last mile is what I want to focus on the most, because that's obviously where I struggle at the most, that last mile, or like 2 kilometers over 5K. And I really just want to lock in on that last mile. Like I want to run my last mile like in like 6:20. 6:20 or faster is what I'm hoping for. So that's the plan. I hope I can stick through with the plan. But yeah, that's the main goal of this race, just to stay disciplined. Stay disciplined, stick with the plan, and hopefully I can achieve my goal. You know, like I said, my goal is 19:45. I think that's like, I'm not exactly sure what pace that is. I think that's like 6:20 or 6:19 or so, something like that. But yeah, I hope I can just stick with the plan. That's really just the main objective of this race. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Weather's gonna be pretty good, just like last week. It's gonna be like mid-60s, low humidity, so good weather. Really excited for it. And yeah, I just hope everything goes as planned. But yeah, I'm gonna get into this run today. Today's run is just gonna be a very easy 4 miles. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Running my warm-up right now. Feeling pretty decent today. We'll see how that goes once the race starts and all that. But yeah, so far this morning, feeling pretty good though. But it all just depends on how I feel, you know, during the race, which is in like 20 minutes. So yeah, I'm excited.
2, 1, yep!
So it's now Sunday. I'm gonna discuss yesterday's race more in depth. So starting with the official time was 19:42, which, man, I'm like really happy with that. You know, I had a goal of, I wanted to run at least a 19:45, and you know, goal achieved. So yeah, I'm really stoked about that. But I'm really just more stoked about how I ran the race, though. That's really what I'm more stoked about. Like, you know, coming into it, you know, I had the plan of I really just wanted to stick to the plan, run even splits throughout the race, because my past like 3 races, that's what I've been struggling with just bad pacing. You know, starting my first mile too fast, then I'll just die the last mile. So my goal coming into this race was just to run even splits, you know, especially since I kind of had an idea of exactly where I was at fitness wise. So I wanted to run even splits. And yeah, my splits were damn near perfect. So starting off, I was chilling. Like I said, the first mile was downhill, so like I was just kind of chilling. Starting off, I was in like 5th place, and then I got to 1 mile. Once I got to 1 mile, I was in 2nd place. You know, I hit the 1 mile in 6:18. First place guy that was in first, he had a big gap. He had like a 80-meter gap or so, like that. And according to Strava, he hit his first mile in about 5:57, you know, give or take a few seconds. So yeah, by that point, first mile, he had like a 18 to 20 second lead on me and the rest of the field. So yeah, it was a big gap, man. You know, I did, and my goal was to try to catch him, but man, I was kind of, that first mile, I was like, damn, because he was looking pretty good, like form and all, he was looking good as hell. I was like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna catch him. And you know, come second mile kind of evened out. Like I said before, I ran a 6:13. I think that was probably the last time I checked my watch too. But yeah, by the second mile, I really didn't feel like I gained much ground on the first place guy. You know, his form was still looking pretty good and all, and everything. Like, I was like, damn, he's probably gonna take this one. But like I said, that last mile was gonna be the hardest, because it was kind of uphill, and especially the last kilometer of the race. And okay, so like by like 2.5 or so, you know, I was slowly starting to gain ground on the first place guy. But by that point, I was like, yeah, he gonna take the win. I don't think I'm gonna catch him. But he fucked up, and he fucked up at around 2.5. You know what he did? He turned around to see where I was at. And by that point, he still had about a 10-second lead on me, at least. So it's like I said, I was gaining ground slowly, but like not like a whole lot to where it was like, oh, where I thought I would take the lead. But when he turned around, that's when I was like, okay, he's starting to tire out. And I still had a lot of juice in the tank. I felt good, because I paced the race perfectly up to that point. So like by 2.5, I was just focused on just trying my best to close hard and gain ground on the guy. And yeah, according to Strava, I ran my last kilometer. I was running my last kilometer at 6:05 pace, so I was really booking it. I didn't even look at my watch. I was just locked in, trying to see if I can catch her. And yeah, that's what I was doing. I was slowly gaining ground on him too as the race started to close in to the finish. I think it was like 2.9 miles. I finally caught up to him. 2.9 miles, I finally caught up to him. And when I passed him, I booked it. I booked it and I closed even harder that last 400. I didn't even give him a chance. He didn't. Once I passed him, he didn't go with me. He was gassed by that point. I still kept booking it anyway because I wasn't taking the chance of him trying to make a comeback, and I ended up winning. That was crazy. Like I really wasn't expecting him to come back like that. Like I would say, he had a 20-second lead on me come the first mile. I was not expecting to close like that. But yeah, I'm really, man, that was just such a good race, and I'm really happy with how I performed yesterday. Really happy. Like, progress, making good progress. Man. And the thing is, the course was slightly long too. Even the directors were saying that it was 3.14 miles, so slightly over a 5K, which that probably would have been like closer to 1930 or so if it was like 5K on the dot. But yeah, man, I couldn't have asked for a better race, pace wise. Oh yeah, I closed the last mile in about 6:19 too. The third mile was a 6:19, and it was uphill. So man, like I said, I'm really happy with yesterday's results. That gave me such a good confidence boost. You know, it made me realize that I'm on the right track. You know, I'm hoping moving forward I can get into PR shape in about a month or so. That's like, that just gave me such a good confidence boost. Like, seriously, probably the second best race I've ever ran, second best 5K race I've ever ran behind my PR race of 1856 back in December of last year. So very happy with yesterday's result. I couldn't have asked for a better way to pace it. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. But yeah, moving forward, I'm not exactly sure what my next race is going to be, when it's going to be. It may be in like 2 weeks from now. I'm not exactly sure. I'm just gonna have to figure that out sometime next week or so. I'm gonna figure that out. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with my 5K results yesterday, and just how I ran the race. Most importantly, that's what I'm most happy with.